Let's talk about getting in the moment. So there is a movement afoot that is largely being catalyzed by the power of now. So Eric, who wrote the book, Eric Tolle, he claims, I'm not saying anything bad or good about him or what he claims that his ego fell away and that he has now, I believe, more or less been walking without an ego, walking, talking, and being without an ego and being in the moment. So a lot of people are focused on this. This is not new. This has been the goal of any of the pursuers of truth throughout time. Being in the moment is being with God, which we will get to. Okay. So being in the moment is not easy because we're all in our heads and all that. It's like the cacophony of insanity is going on constantly. And it's very hard to still that. So we're going to talk about hacks. Kind of like, remember Cliff Notes? I know if Cliff Notes is still around. Does anybody know, are Cliff Notes still around? The kids have those today? Because we had them, and I thought they were great. I use Cliff Notes all the time. Yeah. Well, I shouldn't say that. I use them occasionally, but like Shakespeare type stuff, I am reading that. Cliff Notes. Yeah. So when we walk about and we're not in the moment, we're in either the past or we're in the future. We're not actually in the past or the future because it's only now. So since it's only now, when we're in the past or the future, we're in a delusion. We're in an illusion. A Course in Miracles, this wonderful text written by, allegedly, which I'm going to say, by the way, my spiritual precatory language. I'm going to use the word Jesus and Buddha and God, and maybe somebody or something else. Anything that doesn't jive with you, feel free to change it out with puppy dog or roast beef or whatever you want. Okay. So we're walking around either in the past or the future, which means we're in an illusion. A delusion because there is no time. Now, I will make a case. I am an attorney, so I'll make a case, excuse me, that there is actually no time. What do you mean there's no time? I look at my watch, I'm looking at a clock on the wall, and I see time. And I've aged, you say, well, I see wrinkles, I see gray hair, whatever it may be. Okay. Is that true evidence of time passing? Or is that part of a story, a concept in the mind? If anybody wants to answer any questions, by the way, you may do so. Again, remember, please bear in mind that we will edit out your statements as long as you ask to be edited out. We will not add you in the YouTube recording. If not, we will. However, that's hiding is not helping you, and hiding is not in the moment. Okay, so there is nothing but now. We've heard YouTube videos and maybe wrote some books and whatnot about that. What does that mean? How can it be that I have all these memories, starting from childhood and going on, whether good or bad, labeling them as good or bad, when possibly they're just neutral pictures in the mind? They're just figurines that are running through the mind's theater. Like you're sitting in a theater and you're watching a movie's going by. And that's what we see when we are playing the past. It's at least possible. I'm offering you the possibility to at least allow the possibility that these pictures and these thoughts and concepts of the past, memories, smells, feelings, whatever, that they're actually just that, memories that are pictures and concepts that are neutral. I didn't say they are. I'm leaving food for fodder. That see, if I give you the answer, your mind does not engage. You don't heal in whatever that word, whichever way that word is used. So you don't heal by reading or listening. You read by doing. Now, doing doesn't mean only physical doing. I'm practicing tapping my hand or something. Doing is mental habits, emotional habits, spiritual habits on different levels. Yes, there is physical practicing of, if I want to get really good at tapping my hand, I would keep doing this and eventually be very loosey-goosey or whatever I was seeking to do. We are a culmination of our habits. So the habit of being in the moment becomes just that, becomes a habit. There is no past. There is only a concept of the past. There is no future. There is only a projection, a picture, a feeling, a thought of other than now. There is only now. Let's just say, for instance, think back when you were 18 years old. If you are 18, okay, then think back when you were 16. Well, if you're 16, then you were 14 or whatever. And you'll see that the self, the kind of like the being, let me get my rock. I will breathe rock, that this rock, look at this as yourself. Rock has moved through time. Rock, though, has generally stayed the same. You may have changed, you may have evolved, you may have done wrong, you've forgiven yourself. Maybe others have wronged you, forgiven them, you change from experiences and that kind of thing. But for the most part, really think about it. Isn't it true that you are you? So this you has moved through. If this was time going this way, you have moved. You're still here. So let's just say you're 118 years old. Good for you. Bravo. I hope you're still rocking. And I mean rocking as in playing Metallica, not that. Okay. At 118, people say, oh, it's an old person. That person at 118 does not feel old other than maybe knees and shoulders and hips or whatever aching and such, and wrinkles and gray hair or no hair, whatever it may be. The being, though, is still the being. The being is being in the moment. The being is, in fact, the moment. Right? Okay. Can you get that? Rocks are very good learning tools. I keep them around. They teach me to not take myself seriously. Okay. The more you learn that you're not learning, you're peeling away layers of the ego. When I say you, the ego, cannot do anything. Jesus said, but for the Father, I do know nothing, something along those lines. I'm paraphrasing. Same with you. Jesus was not special. He was your brother and is your brother, because time doesn't mean anything to him anymore because he became one with God, and God does not have any time in it. So when we allow ourselves to know that, we join with his oneness with God, and we become one with God in the moment. The focal point of power is always in the moment. Of us who are old enough to remember records, you may remember the diamond needle. If you had a good audiophile, if you were really into audio, you had a needle diamond, a diamond needle, I'm sorry, that would meet the record, and there would be some scratchy stuff, and you'd have to clean the record and go all this noise. That's where the music plays in the moment. Fear, generally, it is said, is in the future. because we're all unsure. On some level, we all know that this, the body, the blood, the bones, the marrow, the organs, the glands, that they will die. And indeed they will. Let me just shift my camera a little bit. Thank you. Hope I'm not making anybody dizzy. Hope that's better. Okay, so we are only releasing parts of the ego. We're not learning anything. You already are whole and complete. There is nothing to add to wholeness and completeness. What you're adding by reading and listening and watching things is actually clogging up. It's not helping you. If I were you, if you would listen to me, I would say take all those books from Amazon, put them on a nice pile safely. Hopefully, if you have a fireplace, or if not, you can make a safe fire somewhere if you can legally, and burn them and watch the pretty colors and get the warmth of the fire. Much more useful than reading them. You don't need books. You need God. God is not in a book. Well, this book is about God. It's about spirit. Right. It's an ego thinking that it is talking about God. It is not. Even Bibles, I'm sorry. Much respect to anybody who is into any kind of Bible. A Bible was written by humans. I believe, it's my opinion. The opinion, though, is based on what I feel very deeply. I just know truth when I see it, that A Course in Miracles is the only quote-unquote book, which is actually a course, it's not a book, that is from direct absolute channel from God. Every word of it, I believe, is essentially a portal to God. It's quite an amazing thing, and to say the least, just absolutely wondrous. So we're letting go, and as we let go, we become the self. The self is in the moment. It's already in the moment. The closer we come to the moment, the more the self is let go of, and the more the self is let go of, the more in the moment we are. So let's return back to that concept of the future is fear. And let me get my drumsticks. The future is fear, and the past is generally some kind of regret. So let's deal with the fear first. So most of us in the present, if the present was centered, dead center here, we're in fear. So there's only two emotions, love and fear. So most of us take the fear and we put it right here and we say, hello, fear. Nice to see you. Make yourself at home. Really great to be with you. And we feel miserable. We're in hell. Another word for fear is hell. Then love is a choice that we can take in this moment, in the moment, which is love. The moment is love, and we can feel love. That has nothing necessarily to do with human love. Human love can reflect God's love, which is the only true love. To be in true love, you know, like true love or soulmates, you know. Your soulmate is God. Your soulmate is actually you, your real self, your true self. So the past is a lot of regret or yearning for things such as when I was younger. What was that song by Bruce Springsteen? Glory Days. Glory Days. I was hitting a baseball, you know, all the girls wanted me, whatever we're singing about. So some of these artists, Billy Joel and Bruce Springsteen, their songs have stories in them, and there were all the wisdom in them. Yeah. So I've not gone to a Billy Joel concert. I know that there was the Garden. So I live in New York. And so I know people, I don't know if he's still doing them. He was doing them weekly or monthly or whatever it was. And so he was doing them forever. I never went. Maybe I'll go. Somebody wants to go, let me know, buy me a ticket, and maybe I'll go with you. Okay. All problems resolve in the moment. And to just stop there and let that sit and let's go into that a bit. There are no problems in the now. I'm going to invite you to be in the moment shortly. When I do, you will feel that you will lighten, you will expand, meaning you won't contract, you will open up, and you'll feel more in the moment. It's always good exercise. You'll see me do this a lot. Hug yourself, not in a loving way. Squeeze yourself where you're tight, contraction. Breathe in, and then breathe out and open up your arms like a butterfly. This is what it is to be in the moment. So the choice to keep working on problems from the past is a choice to not be in the moment. Now, let me do a preface on this that by saying that if you're in group, steps, therapy, whatever it may be, and you're working on your past and it's working, then keep working. The thing is that working on yourself generally doesn't work. Remember, we already are whole and complete. I am, you are. That cannot be destroyed. That cannot be changed. So, okay, let's go slowly. Okay. So when you're working on yourself, you're keeping, let's breathe around to the other side. Let's say this was kind of like the hurt self. We're keeping it here. I want to change myself. I want to work on myself. I want to get rid of the past. Instead of just letting go, we keep holding on to it. So the question is, would you rather be in the painful past, or would you rather be in the divine moment? I'll say that again. Would you rather be in the painful past, or would you rather be in the divine moment? I think the answer is obvious. However, again, to reinforce, if you are in fact working on yourself and you are working on the past and that's helping you, by all means, have at it. I don't like going into the past because I know I'm not here now. When you're here now, all these problems fall away. They just drop. And it's amazing that all this programming that is from ego, that we have to work on ourselves, we have to read and follow and go to counseling and do this and that, whatever. It's not true. There is truth only in the moment. So let's go through some hacks to get in a moment. And I invite you to join me in doing these. So we have 5 senses, all right? And if we use each of our 5 senses 5 times, that's 25 times that we can inch ourselves into the moment. Okay, so let's go through that. So feel free to join me. In fact, I invite you gloriously to join me in the glorious moment. I'm going to do it with you. So first, look at 5 things. I know you're looking at me, but you can look away, or maybe if you're looking at me, hat, pendant, I don't know if you can see a pendant, this wire, this sweater, whatever, 5 things. And make sure that you are conscious of 5 things. Now, so look at 5 different things and count it out. There's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Okay. Now, it's difficult to do sometimes, but you can make sounds. So my voice would be a sound. Listen to 5 different things. If you don't have 5 different sounds, then make a sound. So listen, that's a sound, right? And that's a sound, okay? And this is a sound. Hope you can hear that. My voice is a sound. And the hat. Okay, there you go, 5 sounds. So the eyes and ears are now incorporated. You see you're starting to be in the moment. Remember in school, like the laser print doesn't work, but if you have around you 5 different things, and if you don't have 5, it's okay. 1 or 2 will do. Just hack the hack. Okay, so smell something, smell yourself. Well, yeah, smell yourself. Smell a wire, smell whatever it may be. So I'm going to get some other things here, pen, and I'll smell my sweater. Okay, so we have now 5 of those things. Now feel 5 different things with your hands or other parts of your body. And what parts of your body are you feeling with? Hey, it's up to you. Okay, so feel. So I'm feeling this. It's cold, and I'm feeling the paper. I'm feeling a drumstick. I'm feeling my sweater. I'm feeling the leather, the cow skin on my head, the cow that gave up its life for this. I thank it very much. Okay, and now we have taste. So taste 5 things. Now, I'm not going to go through that on camera, but you can taste your hand's reasonably clean. You can taste back of your hand, pieces of your clothing. It's disgusting. It's not disgusting. It's and it's well worth the endeavor. You can taste anything in your hands. Again, if you don't have 5 things, just get the idea of, let your brain, your mind get the idea of tasting, so that you get the idea. So I'm going to taste. Let's see. We got ready. The drumstick. Oh, yes, and it has a particular taste to it. Wood. Yeah. Okay. So we are using our 5 senses to bring 5 things each, so 25 reminders to be in the moment. Now, if you just did that, you may find that you feel more calm, more centered, more here, more now, more. It's very difficult to be totally in the moment, but you'll get closer. Okay. That is a really great hack to get into the moment. Now, let me move on to some other ones. Cold showers, really cold showers. If you take a cold shower, it's great for you physically. There's a man named Wim Hof, W-I-M, and last name I believe is H-O-F or H-O-F-F. I believe it's H-O-F. He's teaching an ancient principle, which was known forever, that cold is good. Then we got lazy and we wanted heat all the time, and we're all sick all the time. We all want to move to Florida, and everybody in Florida is sick and dying or dead. Everybody they know goes to Florida dies. Oh, well, they're old. No, not all of them. All kinds of chaos goes on down there. I don't know what this fetish is about Florida. It's a swamp. Mold is not good for us. Okay, so moving on. Cold shower. Ideally, you'd be living in a log cabin, like a dream, right? Like, what a dream. A log cabin, and you would be jumping in a river naked. Yes, skinny dipping in the river every morning, or right now, if you want to go jump naked in the river, if you have one next across your house, something, and it's legal, you're not going to break any laws, then go do that. Been listening to this lecture. Walk in nature. Walking in nature. Nature is in the moment. A tree. This came from a tree, so let's make believe it's a tree. This is wood. Okay, trust me. Nature is in the moment. The tree's not thinking about its past. Even 1,000-year-old tree. There are trees that are 1,000 years old, if not more. I'm not what's the word for a tree scientist? I don't even know what the word is, but okay, whatever. So I'm sure there was a word, or maybe it's a larger spectrum of things other than just trees. A botanist, is that, I don't even know if that's the right word. Anyway, so a tree is in the moment. A leaf, a bush, a brush, the grass, etc. Right? So walking in nature tends to help our minds join, unionize with the oneness of nature. It's really a wonderful thing. And if you don't have nature around you, find parks. Like you live in a city, okay, my condolences. However, there are parks, and you can also take mass transportation or your car to mountains if they're not that close by. Then make one up. Put a lot of plants in your home and sit around plants. Um, Playing. Usually, when we're playing, we're in the moment. It's amazing, right? We find ourselves having fun, and we're in the moment. So play more. Um, Exercise. Exercise is definitely a way to get in the moment. Vigorous exercise, something like running. Now, I'm not saying that you should run. I'm saying, just for an example, running. Okay, I don't like running, so I don't do it. Um, when you're exercising, generally, you're in the moment because you're efforting so much that it's difficult to not be in the moment. Sex. Yep. We're all adults, and if you're not adults, you should be here only under the supervision of the guardian. And if you're watching this on social media, if you're under 18, get out. Or go get your mommy and daddy and get their approval to watch this. So sex. When we're having sex, generally, aren't we in the moment, right? Listen, we're all adults here. You know how you got into this world, all of you who are, oh, he's talking about sex. My God. You know what you are? You're an orgasm. Mommy and daddy had sex, and you're the outcome of it. Everybody is a walking orgasm that grew feet. That's it. You are, we can't talk about sex. You mean I can't talk about you? You are walking sex. You're the result of sex. You know, think about it. You're an orgasm that grew feet, and you're walking around. Orgasms walking around. You should see the world through my eyes for like 5 minutes. You'd be laughing the rest of your life. You see things where I did, the way I do. Okay. Um, I am in MMA. I'll use the word MMA. It's not really, but it's hand-to-hand combat. It's different, but an MMA student. Getting into self-defense, instruction, martial arts, boxing, judo, wrestling, BJJ, whatever. It's very difficult to be sparring or training, particularly sparring, and not be in the moment. When I spar with my trainer, he is my trainer, so he's much better than I am. So if I don't stay in the moment, I mean, very much in the moment, I'm going to get an elbow, a knee, a hand, a foot, or on the ground. Fighting is also on the ground, right? You know, so we go to the ground, and he's going to try to submit me by doing an armbar or my neck or something or other. And I don't like to tap out, so I have to stay very alert and counter his maneuvers. So he takes it easy on me, but I go full force, and I don't feel anything definitely than the moment. Take up an instrument, or if you have an instrument, or if you did play one, pick it up again. It's very difficult to play music and not be in the moment. When I say play music, I'm talking about actually actively playing it as opposed to playing music as like on your iPod, your iPad, whatever. I am a drummer also. So when I'm drumming, it's very difficult for me if I'm running patterns, like, I just want to do patterns to increase my timing, whatever. It's very meditative, at least for me. So playing music, generally, people, you're so imbued and infused with the music and you're so one with making music that generally, overwhelmingly, you're going to be in the moment. Okay. So those are some hacks. Let's keep moving. Meditation. Meditation is really an exercise in getting in the moment. Putting your foot behind your head, and people in California, particularly in LA, they think to seem like if I get flexible enough to put my foot behind my head, I become actualized, I become enlightened. No, you're a yoga dummy who's got your foot behind your head. That has nothing to do with yoga. Means one. It's unionization with the moment, with the self. The self is in the moment. The ego is always not in the moment. Let me stop and explain that for a sec. Well, actually, you know what? I'll do that at the end. That's a good closure, right? Okay, yeah, we'll do that. We should all have an animal. Animals are in the moment. If you don't have a dog, no excuses. Go get a dog tomorrow. There are animal shelters where dogs are going to get euthanized, and those dogs are the best teachers of being in the moment. I'm not a cat person. I'm not judging anybody who is a cat person. I'm not judging anything about it. I'm just telling you, I don't like cats. I don't like anything about them. I have like I'm anti like kryptonite, like kryptonite to me. Like, get away from me. So whatever you like cats, sure. They can also, I'm sure they could bring you into the moment. But a dog is just a ball of love. We're all talking about spooky stories like, oh, my mother, father, grandfather, grandmother died, whatever. And I found a penny or a sound, or they appeared, or whatever it may be. We're looking at angels all the time right in front of us, dogs. And you know what angels do? They invite us into the moment. So if you don't have a dog, get a dog. And if you have a dog, just sit with your dog. And that's what I do. Every day I walk my talk. I sit with my dog and I just there. Like I try to really be conscious that I'm with him. His name is Monk. And yeah, he's awesome. He's a French bulldog. And Frenchies are great, by the way. Yeah. So, and I'm very conscious of being in the moment when I'm with him. Another way to be in the moment is to shut up. Yep, I said it. There, I said it. Shut up. So when we shut up, we're in the moment. Take what I call a do not interrupt day. Just for one day, or have it even an hour. Don't interrupt somebody. So if somebody's speaking, somebody and you, someone is speaking, instead of being in your head thinking about what your counter to what they're going to say is, or what you want to add to or subtract from, or whatever, just be present with them, whether it's on the phone, it could be social media, you're in a talk, you're in a, what do you call that, discuss box, conversational box, whatever it's called. I'm a technical retard, so I don't know the names of these things. Nimish is in the room right now. He would know. He's a technical wizard. So just let them finish. If you don't have to catch a train or a plane, there is no reason for you to interrupt. If you do this and practice this, do it just for one day. I'm inviting you to gloriously enhance the quality of your life. If you just practice this, it takes practice because we're always practicing interrupting. I generally, and I mean this, if you've engaged me either in private counseling, which you may do, or just as a friend, or in any which way, you may have noticed that I do not interrupt, that I'll let you finish, unless it's extraordinary reasons that I step in. Because sometimes when I'm counseling people, they're hurting themselves by talking about things that they think are helping. Like I said earlier, they're working on themselves, and I'm teaching them to let go, let go, let go. So I may interrupt their patterns, just smack my hands, or just, wow, come at them or something. And like, what'd you do? My God. Meanwhile, I'll say to them, are you in the moment now? Yeah, well, yeah, I'm in the moment right now. So we snap patterns. Some NLP work stands for neuro linguistic programming. We have a therapist in a room with us who knows a lot about that also. Okay. While eating, eat, eat, eat your food. So when you're eating, just for instance, while washing your dishes, wash your dishes. While cleaning your window, clean your window. Why are you eating and thinking about what you're going to be doing later or what you did yesterday? Why are you washing dishes and thinking about other than anything but washing dishes? In fact, why are you thinking? It takes practice. This is practice. Jesus disappeared for 18 years and reappeared from 12 years old, at 30 years old, reappeared at 30 years old. Obviously, he was studying. I believe he went into the Himalayas. I believe he was with the Essenes. Buddha disappeared. He walked and he sat under the Bodhi tree for a long time. These enlightened beings, they worked, they practiced. This is not easy. People think that any of this is just going to happen. No, you're very well practiced in screwing yourself up and not being in the moment and you're hurting yourself. You're depriving yourself of glory. By the way, before I forget, we'll take intermission. Please go to acourseinlife.com. acourseinlife.com. It's 4 words. Catherine, please put that in the chat room. acourseinlife.com. Please sign up for the newsletter. Some of you are getting notifications by text message or Facebook, whatever. We're going to stop doing that. We want everybody, please go to sign up for the free newsletter. And very soon, we're going to be putting out informational, educational, inspirational, spiritual. Thank you, Catherine. And other types of really cool stuff. So please go to the website. Please sign up for the newsletter. And it's not just going to be notifications about workshops and such. It's going to be things to really help you in really great ways. Okay. And you can make contact through there if you have any questions. I do my best to answer questions. And a lot of cool stuff is going to be coming, including A Course in Life, which is a 3-month course that was taught live for approximately 15 years. It is going to be recorded and uploaded onto A Course in Life, and then you get notified about that. And when that's ready, whether you've taken the course already or not, you'll have an entire time to do that, where it's just a really helpful course to help you in every which way: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. Okay. Thank you, Catherine, for that also. All right, so let's keep moving. So while you're eating, eat, and eat slowly. Feel and taste your food. Smell your food. Be with it. Your body also digests better when you do this. You'll be more calm. Okay. When we're in the moment, generally, our parasympathetic nervous system is in play, which is good, calming, instead of our sympathetic nervous system, which is not good. It's not calming. So when you're washing your dishes, feel the soap, feel the warmth, cold, maybe the smells of the foods that you're washing off. There's all kinds of tactile and other sensational sensations going on while you're washing dishes, just for instance, right? Breaking comfort zones is being in the moment. If you're physically able, go bungee cord jumping. There's no way that you are going to jump off a bridge or whatever and go bouncing around like, boing, boing, boing. I'm getting dizzy thinking about it. I'm not going to do it, but because I get dizzy easily. Or jump out of a plane, breaking comfort zones, something that you have these zones, break comfort zones. What are comfort zones? This is about how comfortable you allow yourself. Will go further. And every time you do, You're engaging yourself more in the moment. Ideally, ideally, we all walk on water. I have news for you. You didn't walk on water yesterday. You're not walking on water today. And I have this, here it is, news report. You won't be walking on water tomorrow. Is it possible? Yes. Jesus did, and he said that we could do as him and more. Is it likely? No. So in the meantime, you're going to be doing things imperfectly, and that's okay. Just try. Just be willing and just try. And that's all Jesus asks of us in A Course in Miracles is just try. Just be willing. And also it's said biblically, I believe, that all we need is, well, he said it right. All we need is the faith of a mustard seed. Jesus held up a mustard seed. Why a mustard seed? It's a small seed of all seeds. Very wise man, to say the least, wise and unionized with God's mind. And he said, if we had the faith of that little seed, just that much faith, we would have all of heaven, or whatever words he used, but essentially all of heaven would be at our disposal. Okay, let's keep moving on, and I'm going to open up the room in a moment. A few more minutes. Okay. So breaking out of comfort zone, sing in public. Just start singing. I'm going to feel embarrassed. Embarrassed. Yeah, you bear your ass. Good. You're going to die. You're going to remember the moments that you were free and in the moment. You're not going to remember the moments that you were in fear and you hid. Like you're hiding, right now you guys are hiding, behind your phones or your computer or cameras, whatever. You don't want to come public. Okay, that's fine. You're going to die. You're going to die. Realization that you're going to die brings you into the moment, the preciousness of this moment. This is not another blah, blah, blah moment. You're alive right now, in the now, right now. Jesus said the kingdom is here and now. We'll get to that at the end. The kingdom is here. It's now. Being loving is in the moment. Love occurs in the moment. You may think, when I think of things, I'm in love with my children, my lover, my whatever. No, that's not love. That's a delusion, an illusion. Love happens here. And you can only feel joy when you're being loving. Now, I'm going to want you to stop and think about that for a moment. You can only feel joy while being loving. I defy anyone listening or on YouTube and such to put in a comment section, and we'll get to it, read them, and we'll respond. As long as you're reasonably polite, okay, keep it reasonable, yeah, that you have felt joy any other time than when you were being loving, which is being in the moment. It's impossible. The key to joy is not to go to Home Goods and buy another piece of wood, whatever, that you don't need, or go on Amazon and get that dopamine hit, or another degree, or more money, or accumulate more information, more degrees, more whatever. None of that's going to save you. None of it. Your ass is going in the grass, and you're going to become part of the grass. You're going to be fertilizer. This moment is amazing. It's marvelous. It's wondrous and wonderful. Be here right now with me. Be here. There's no anxiety. There's no depression. There's no fear in the moment. The moment is devoid of all of these things. There's a dearth of anxiety, depression, and fear in the moment. The past and the future are rife with anxiety, fear, and depression. If you practice being here, it's a practice. Starting today, make it part of your journey. And by the way, journaling. If you want to journal, it's best to do it with your hand. You can type or you can dictate or whatever else works for you. Today, who knows? It's probably like put something into your head and like, oh, there it is written. Well, AI does it for us now, right? I've been using AI, to write, letters, whatever. I don't do that. I write my own stuff because I feel like I'm present when I'm doing it. Do not try to be in the moment. When you try to be in the moment, you're not in the moment. Now, we'll stop there. Yoda from Star Wars said, do not try, do or do not. Something along those lines. I'm paraphrasing. When we're trying to be in the moment, we take a sip of water. I'm getting dehydrated. Spiked with tequila. Just joking. I wish it was. It's not. So don't try to be in the moment. You go to a retreat, a moment retreat, and you are trying to be in the moment. You're not in the moment. I am in the moment, by the way, is an oxymoron. There is no I, there's no self. All the thoughts, feelings, emotions, and beliefs that make up you. You are thoughts, feelings, emotions, and beliefs, a collection. So a collection of, you stay there. Hold on. I have a crash going. You just my crash. Okay. You are a collection of thoughts, feelings, emotions, and beliefs. This is a self. That's all it is. And most of those are tied to fear. So we think that if we stay afraid enough, if we do more fear, we're going to be better. We're going to get better. No, you're going to get worse. Being in the moment is not trying. It's when you release yourself. It takes practice. And these things, these concepts are metaphysical. They're cosmology. Takes some doing. I'm available for counseling if you want to work on these things or other things, if you wish. If not, then these presentations and these videos are made for free. Okay. And lastly, the master, I call him the master. Jesus said that the kingdom is here and now. What a profound statement. The kingdom is here and now. Not before, not after, not there. Where do you think you're going when you quote unquote die? As if there really was death. You're not going anywhere. You're not going. Literally, people think in terms of they're going to go to heaven. What is this like? Isn't there an airline? Is there a metro line? Amtrak? Heaven Amtrak? You are dropping your ego. If you haven't, I don't know, and I don't think anybody does. Perhaps past lives and future lives will occur. Why don't you cut all that living and dying out, all that suffering, and get it done now? In the now. Because in the now, there is realization, there is awakening. So let's just now spend a moment and be in the now, and then we're going to open up the room. So just with me, do this again. Close up and help yourself to feel contracted. Now help yourself more by unfolding and opening up. Like a leaf, like a praying mantis, like a sunrise, like a sunset. There is calm in the moment. Be calm. Calmness invites the moment. The moment invites calmness. Just be here. I'll be silent for a few seconds. Oh my goodness, silence. In a conversation, if there's silence for 5 seconds or 5 minutes. So why is that? Why do you have talk all the time? What's with this talking all the time stuff? You're not really talking about anything. You're just blathering anyway. No offense, but you're just blathering. Let's just be in a moment. Okay. And just be calm as you can. Take a deep breath in, release it. Okay, let's do that 3 times. Okay, and then we'll open up the room. Take a deep breath in. Fill up the moment. Okay, and drop your shoulders. Feel your shoulders, drop them. Drop your shoulders. Your shoulders are up, you're not in the moment. You're tense. Scan your body. Is there any tension? Just release it. The chair, the bed, the floor, whatever will hold you. Gravity does its job. And you're in the hands of God. You're always in the hands of God. The kingdom is here and now. All right, this is Christopher Diorta from A Course in Life, found at A Course in Life. Am I upside down? No, the right side up. Okay, acourseinlife.com. Please go there, sign up for the newsletter. Lots of free missives. What's a missive? A newsletter. Going to go out, informational, educational, inspirational, spiritual, nutritional, whatever. Okay. Listen out for the newsletter. Watch for the course coming, 3-month course called The Course in Life. And please like and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube and the like. Okay. So